Welcome to the Resilient AF podcast. I'm Alex Fresh.
And I'm BennettKnows. We believe everything vibrates at a certain frequency, and we're here to raise the vibration.
You'll hear stories of resilience, manifestation, and what to do when you find that even resilience has a toll.
Because a bitch is tired, honey.
Check, check.
Check, check. 1, 2, 3. So we are good. We have the videos rolling. We have every angle.
That's rolling?
That's rolling. She's rolling. There's a red dot, right?
Yeah. That's rolling.
Look at us.
Rolling with the homies. What movie is it, Bennett?
What movie is that?
Clueless.
Oh, no.
Which is at the night party.
I've seen Clueless, but like, I don't know it verbatim. Like Mean Girls. Mean Girls is my Clueless.
It was Clueless for me. So I'm going to age myself right now and say something that I did in my childhood. And it was when my mom and I would go to Blockbuster all the time and I would rent movies at Blockbuster. I would get Clueless like every single time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I miss Blockbuster.
I don't.
I do. It's just, there's something about going to a store and actually grabbing music and movies and media.
Not movies. I love the convenience of just finding a movie that I want to watch and boom, it's right there, ready to go.
Well, Blockbuster was overwhelming as well, but sometimes I just feel like streaming and Netflix and all of that stuff is very overwhelming.
I love it.
I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. Let's shut the TV off because it's just too much.
I don't watch that much TV hardly at all. But do you remember those nights where like really big movies would come out at Blockbuster and then there would just be sold out movies?
No,
and you don't remember that?
No, don't.
Okay, yeah. There was, top movies that were out in the movie theater and then you have to wait so long for them to come out on video. And then they would come out like on a Friday night. And all Blockbusters would be sold out of that video. And like you have to wait several days to get it.
There's a waiting list.
Yeah. Back in the day, that's what we had to grow up with.
Back in the day, way back.
There's one Blockbuster left.
Oregon, right? Portland.
I don't know. All I know is there's one left and they're doing it on purpose because it's cool.
And there's actually like a show called Blockbuster. It's like it's like The Office, but they work at Blockbuster, and
that's funny.
It just shows how
that would be
nostalgic
amazing.
Blockbuster is nowadays.
Be kind, please rewind.
And if you're young and you don't know what Blockbuster is, you're too young for this podcast. No, I'm just playing. Blockbuster was the store that sold movies and DVDs, and you couldn't go on Netflix and get these things. You had to go to the store and walk through the aisles.
Blockbuster and chill.
And get the movie. Yeah. Blockbuster and chill. Blockbuster chill or Blockbuster and bust it down.
Blockbuster and bust.
Ooh.
Blockbust.
Block or bust. No, sounds like a new game.
Ooh, I think we should have a new game called Block or
Bust.
Oh shit.
Ooh, sounds fun.
Do we block or do we bust? Oh shit.
It depends on the person.
Embarrassing.
It depends on who it is.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Guess what? We are on YouTube. Yep. Finally, we have the videos rolling right now. So if you listen to the podcast and you want to see our beautiful faces, what's our YouTube?
It's Resilient AF 3.
Okay.
And I didn't even want to promote last week's video because I thought it was so tragic. Like, we tried so hard. I mean, we've been trying. I edited the video down and it was down to like 11 minutes. 11.
So that's not tragic at all. Go check us out. I think we look bomb.
Okay, because we look bomb.
Yes.
Yep. Yes.
That's what I checked for. Not the audio, not the conversation, just my face.
Yep, we're gonna be here because Bennett's bomb.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's go into our peaks and our pits.
Okay.
Kick it off.
So over the last week, I've realized in talking to friends, they're like, you always like straight men or guys who are curious, like we want you to be with someone that's gay and loud and proud, just like you. But that's not what I attract or vice versa. I'm not attracted to that either. So now I'm coming to realize that like, if I'm going to date these guys, I'm going to have to make a serious move.
I like to hear that. Yeah. So
I will keep you updated.
Fuck.
Okay. My pit for the week, I don't really have one. I've been really productive. I've been hitting the gym. So yeah, I've had a really good week. No pits.
I love to hear that. For real.
Thank you.
I'm happy for you.
What's good with you?
Well, okay. So my pit is I'm still married. You know what? I just decided unless something's worse than that, that's going to be my pit every single week because every week I'm like very hopeful that it's going to be final and I really think it's going to be. So it's like still like that for me. And it's only been like that for like a few weeks. So
damn.
Until it's final, I'm just going to have it as my pit unless, like I said, there's something worse, but it could be worse.
Hopefully you're not in that pit forever,
Forever. Hell no. Like I'm almost done.
Are you doing meetings every week?
Every single day. Like we're down to the nitty gritty. Like we are down to words, specific words in the settlement. So that's where we're at. And it's a lot of agreeing. So boom. As
You said a lot of green?
A lot of agreeing.
Oh, I thought you said a lot of green.
I mean, that too. Hey!
We love that. I mean, it might be a hit turn Pete.
So, yeah.
We're looking forward to that.
I'll let you guys know next Monday how it's working out.
Alrighty.
Cross all of your limbs for me. My peak is I've been getting really organized and it feels good because with my pit, it's just like weighing me down. And I just have been focusing a lot on getting my shit together, even though I feel like it's always been together. I'm just like really focused on not going out a lot and spending a lot of time on self-care as well, like working out. I've been building my booty. Like, holy fuck, my booty has been the biggest it's ever been because I'm actually working out properly and it's killing it for me.
Oh yeah, we love to see
and
it.
growing a peach. So yeah, that's it for me.
All right, well, it sounds good.
Yeah, hit us up. What is your peak and pit for the week?
Ooh, yes.
At ResilientAF3 on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube.
Yes.
Okay, so ask Alex.
So if you had no choice, how many days do you think you could go without masturbation or sex?
Ooh, okay. So
That's a loaded one.
I'm a Taurus, and we're like natural born porn stars.
Really?
It just is what it is. Yeah, where's my Taurus is at? You know what I'm saying? We like sex. We like all the finer things. We just like, give us sex, food, and sleep, and we'll be happy. Okay. So there's been times in my life where I've had a partner who wasn't really good, so we didn't really have that much sex, and I would just have to get off myself. But there would be periods where I would, okay, this is embarrassing. I would wake up in the middle of the night. This hasn't happened like for a long time.
Oh my God,
because
like
I just get off too much now. It doesn't matter. Like it's like it doesn't even happen anymore. But like I would wake up and have like having an orgasm because like so much time has passed since I've had one.
So you would wake up in the middle of the night to an orgasm, or you would wake up in the middle of the night like I need to orgasm?
No, like having one. Because because it was a long ass time ago. But
not doing anything?
No.
Just sleeping?
It's like a wet dream.
Okay, so wet dreams.
But I was younger, like in my 20s, young 20s. So I remember like, if I would wake up having an orgasm, I'm like, damn, it's been a long time. So I just had low libido, I feel like at the time. And I was just not in a good spot in life. And I just didn't want it. So then when I became single and realized, whoa, that's not who I am.
That's not who I am or who I want to be with.
Or who I ever have been since. And I realized how much I love and enjoy it, which has been a long time. So it's like, I don't even go, I mean, honestly, it's probably every single night. There's probably like one time every like month. Maybe I don't.
So you don't have sex or masturbate once a month?
Yes.
So you masturbate and have sex every day, basically?
Yes.
Okay,
but hold on. This is how many days, right? So this is getting to my point. This is embarrassing. I'm even saying you do this. But if I had no choice, how many days do I think that I could go without and like waking up to a wet dream, right? It would probably be less than 30, probably 20. And that's such a stretch. Like at first I was going to say like less than a week. Like, okay, no. Because I've realized actually recently, because like when I go on vacation, obviously with my children and we share a hotel room, I'm not going to do that. So I realized one time recently where I was gone a week.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, like at the end of the week, fuck.
Yeah, no, it's definitely on vacations. When you go on vacations with people, it's like,
and the fucking children. Yeah.
Yeah. No, even with like friends, like when I was in Vegas, did not masturbate or have sex. And as soon as I got home, that's the first thing I did. For real.
Okay.
So
mine was like between 20 and 30 days. I feel like before I wake up having one.
I feel like that's longer than most people. I definitely don't have wet dreams. Haven't had a wet dream for
because you get off too much
very long time.
Me too. That's why though. But if you didn't get off,
then your body or your mind would like
you would wake up.
Okay.
Eventually, like, and it wouldn't take a long time for you probably.
We'll see.
Okay, don't get off
Probably
and see how long it takes.
I mean, that's pretty hard.
I know, right? Like,
I feel like guys masturbate a lot more than girls.
I feel like I masturbate just as much as guys.
You think so? Because I masturbate like at least every other day.
I do
maybe
it
every
more.
day. Especially if I'm not having sex. If like I just had sex, like I'm not going to masturbate for at least 3 to 5 days.
Yeah, no, I would like when I was in a relationship, we would have sex almost every day.
Oh,
like there was some months where it was like, ooh, it was like rough and like I was still getting off.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my max would probably be like not even 7 days.
Yeah,
maybe 7
that's what
days.
I was going to say first. But then like you could do it like if you actually had to.
If I had to, because they always say like not getting off like is good for you. You're like holding your energy and all of that.
All that. I don't want to know.
It's like where I'm not waiting to find out.
No.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot better when I don't masturbate.
What?
Over a long period of time.
You feel better?
I'm like, oh wow, I haven't jerked off at all. Like,
and you feel better?
I feel stronger.
Oh, like when you go do it?
No. I mean,
just in life?
But just in life, yeah. Like just holding it is like, okay.
No.
But I mean, I can't do it. That's not the question. The question is, how long do you think if you had no choice? And it'd probably be 5 to 7 days.
Yeah, that's what I was originally going to say.
But I'm surprised. I didn't think girls masturbate as much as guys. At least I didn't think.
Okay, hit us up. How much do you masturbate? Hit us up on Instagram at ResilientAF3. We want to know. How much do you masturbate? Man or woman? Or
Once
whatever,
a day,
however,
twice
whatever
a day.
you identify. Sometimes 3.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Okay. I'm just saying, that's rare. What's less rare is 2. And it's anyhow. Yeah, you already know.
Hit us up. Let us know. Alrighty.
All right, next is our resilient guest.
Today's special guest is a good friend of mine. His name is Jovon, but he also goes by Daddy Cream.
Cream?
Yes, he worked in the porn industry, so he has an amazing story about going into the industry and
I can't
leaving
wait.
the industry. And I just think that he is such a strong and resilient person, and he's just a light. So after we hear his story, you guys are going to be like, wow,
Holy
maybe I
shit.
should go watch his porn.
Oh, I can't wait.
And he is an author. He has 2 books out.
What?
Yes, self-published.
Don't tell us everything. I'm going to wait.
So-
I want him to say it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Well, welcome, Jovon.
So Jovon.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Jovon, before we get into Daddy Cream, just introduce yourself to the listeners.
So my name is Jovon Joseph on Instagram. I come from San Jose, California. I'm from the Bay Area.
Okay.
I am 32.
30.
I have a beautiful 13-year-old. She's almost 14 actually
Aw.
in 2 weeks.
How's that going?
Right now it's tough, to be honest, but she's still the angel of my eye. It's just baby mama drama that when I say tough. So, but that's a part of me, like, you know, that's a part of my battles and my resilience, since we're here for resilience. So yeah, I think it's more so, I'm more so well known for like my adult film, like, which is the Daddy Cream side of things.
Okay.
Okay, Daddy Cream.
I'm like, okay. Tell me more.
So Daddy Cream, it's like Beyonce and Sasha Fierce. For me, that's how I look at it, because like Daddy Cream has been around ever since my daughter's been born, since I was 18, since like I was a kid. So, and basically,
Is Daddy Cream still alive? Or is Daddy Cream a thing of the past? Or does he come out sometimes?
Oh, shit.
Daddy Cream is alive with my partner, and you know, I'll show up sometimes, but it's
On what?
to an extent.
Where is Daddy Cream?
Oh, he's all over.
She wants to know because she's on OnlyFans. Is Daddy Cream on
Okay, so
OnlyFans?
Daddy Cream's on OnlyFans.
Okay.
Subscribe.
cool.
But Daddy Cream was here before, you know, the OnlyFans started, like
Yes.
before all that. Yeah, there's like a difference. Like everybody literally will label themselves as a porn star because they film OnlyFans, but
It's a big difference.
Okay.
yeah.
So what year did you start Daddy Cream?
2010. I was 18 at 2010.
So did you make a lot of money?
So that was the thing. I thought I was going to make a lot of money, and I flew to Miami, you know, because they sold this dream. And then when I got there, it wasn't nearly anything I expected. And like even a main thing for me was like the testing for like HIV and stuff. Like they didn't necessarily do that, even though they said they
That they
needed to do that.
So,
There's layers, and it's just so much.
and we're here
Yeah.
for all of it. So you were 18. What were you doing before you went into the porn industry, and like what led you to make that decision to do so?
Through high school, I just, my freshman year, we moved about 2 hours away from the Bay to a place called Sacramento. And it was just a big change for me, a big culture change, and just, you know, everything was different. So all through high school, I just was really doing things that I shouldn't have been. You know, I was in and out of juvenile hall and all.
Badass kid.
And then my daughter, I was a badass boy. Yeah. And then my baby's mom was pregnant our junior year going into our senior year. And I had already got my GED when I was in juvenile hall. So my senior year, I was kind of just like fucking off. Like I really didn't care. So when I was 18, which was in January, we don't graduate till the summertime. Basically, I was like, oh, well, I could make some money. And they were selling me this dream, come fly to Miami.
So how did you get into it? Like, did you see a flyer in the newspaper? I mean, this is in 1980,
it was literally
but
like become a star. And then you click there and it's like apply now. And then it gives you a list of like what you would be doing, how long you'd be doing it for.
were you watching
what it's
porn when you
supposed to
found
be.
this flyer? Is that how you found it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you find
Yeah.
you find the link. Well, this is a way for me to make money, fly out to Miami, become a star, and you went for it.
And I went for it, and it wasn't what I wanted, but it really opened all the doors. I know it sounds probably cliche, but like because of Daddy Cream, like I've survived my whole adult life.
So what happens when you get to Miami?
I was very alone. Like I felt so far away from my family, and like my grandmother was going through like chemo and stuff at the time, and like I felt like I abandoned my family. Like, why am I out here? And it was a lot. But basically, the people there, the production, we were staying in a warehouse. It wasn't even like a house. It was like a warehouse shack in like Midtown Miami. So like not the best area. And like I don't know. It was just for me at that age, being on my first time ever on, another state or something by myself, I just felt very secluded and unaware. And
so then when you started, like when you moved there, you still did it?
Well, I didn't move there. I just went there for, that experience, but they wanted me to stay 2 weeks longer than I did, but I ended up having to ask my best friend, Gabby, to borrow money so that I could take a Greyhound bus home, and it took 4 days.
Oh my goodness.
And I didn't get paid the money that I thought, and I didn't become the star that I thought I was going to become.
Wait, hold up, because
I know that
you thought. Okay, because you are a star. Because like I definitely know who Daddy Cream is. So you were living in a dorm, like a warehouse?
It was a 2-bedroom bunk bed in each room, with the production in the same warehouse. None of it had ceilings, so we all had walls, and you could hear everything. It was.
How many people were in the warehouse?
Well, not including workers, like 6 to 10 boys.
So 6.
And then when the workers came, it would be like 5 to 6 more people.
Okay, so you were kind of living there.
It
for
was
how
literally
long?
like the Bad Boys Club. That's how I felt.
For how long though? How many weeks?
Bad. I did like 2.5 weeks, but the gig was 30 days for $1,200.
30
but
days.
But at 18 for $1,200, you're thinking like
it's a lot.
The world.
Right.
Yeah.
So how many shoots did you have to go through at this time? Was there a contract? Did you sign contracts when you got there?
There was not necessarily signing contracts when you got there. He would play you if you didn't. I don't know. I was just young and naive. I didn't really understand what was going on. So if I didn't get what I wanted or I was expected, I didn't really know how to. Besides stick up for myself, even sticking up for myself wouldn't get me back. So I didn't know how to go about that. But there was like, I don't know the numbers for how many videos and stuff, but I didn't partake in too many.
Okay.
So you didn't even have enough money to get yourself back after these 2 weeks that you were there.
So, and you said you were supposed to be there for a month, but after 2 weeks, you were like, fuck this shit. Like, this is not it.
Yeah, it was just, I didn't feel like they just didn't care about anything, anybody. There was fights. It was just too much going on.
Were they feeding you guys? Did you get a stipend so you could live in Miami? Or were you guys kind of just like...
So say we were supposed to get like $500 for a shoot. They would buy, freezer foods or something. And then they would take us out to a club, and like I was 18, so the clubs were like 21 and over, and they were like, "Oh, you'll be good." And then they're buying bottles and stuff. When you're supposed to get paid, they'd be like, "Oh, didn't you eat? Weren't you going here?" And like,
oh wow,
it's kind of like bringing back really bad memories, honestly. Because I was just so young, and like now I see people really getting played. Because like nowadays, if you're not, a household name or something, they're gonna offer you chump change, and it's just people are doing that and accepting that as just like,
so
couldn't be me.
Shout outs to best friend. She gave you some cash so you could take a Greyhound home. Now, from these shoots at this warehouse, is that where Daddy Cream was born?
So Daddy Cream was born once I figured out that I was gonna go to Miami. I was on the street with one of my best friends, and I was like thinking about names and stuff, and I think we first came up with Cream Daddy, but it just didn't seem right. And Cream to me and my friends, it always like meant the cash rules everything around me.
Okay.
And I was gonna be a dad, so like Daddy just kind of fit, And I also cream a lot, so it was just the perfect fucking name. It's like honestly the perfect name.
So how do you spell it? Just normal?
Normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can Google it, Alex.
I'm going to. I asked Ben, I'm like, does he have a big dick? And he was like, you should ask him. So do you have a big dick?
I do.
Okay,
Since you're curious.
I'm gonna check it out later. I'm for sure gonna check it out later. So you go home.
So you make it home and you're like, shit, this was like kind of traumatizing. What happens next when you get home? How are you feeling after you did this? And when did the content start coming out?
So when I first started, you got to remember, like, Twitter was very, very starting too. And I forgot to mention, like, in the house, they had like cameras. So like there was live feed that people can go onto the website.
Oh, wow.
So
Damn.
it was, stuff was already like out there.
Okay.
So when I got back home, honestly, it was just a lot. My daughter was going to be born, and like my
What did your family think?
I was going to ask. Yeah.
I didn't tell my family. Like, I didn't tell. The only person that knew was my baby's mom and her mom.
Oh, wow. So what
Like,
did your
I told
family
them
think?
I was going out there for modeling. Like, that was my biggest thing for the longest time.
You're going to be a model, all right.
So did your parents ever find out?
Oh, yeah. My mom definitely knows now. And
Okay.
she's 1,000% supportive.
Aw,
and
good.
yeah, it was just, I don't know. I just took a longer time telling my mom than I did like my friends' moms and stuff.
Totally.
Yeah, it's like that sometimes.
So, like, how did you get back into it?
So I did get back into it when I was desperate for money again.
Mhm.
And I went on to another porn site and they had another apply now option. And that's how it pretty much rolled out. And then from there, probably from like 18 to 22, it just was multiple dates, different cities, all these different companies. And then I started going to like, Latino Oasis, which is a big urban event in Palm Springs. And Twitter was really like a really big help, like in my social media and whatnot.
Mhm.
During all this, before Daddy Cream probably got revamped, so because we're back to the resilience.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother had passed away in June of 2010. My daughter was born in April of 2010. So like that whole rest of that year was just kind of really emotional and really a bad roller coaster. But I couldn't like dwell in that, and I needed to, overcome that. And what can I do to provide? And basically, Daddy Cream was going off, so I was able to get easy bookings and whatnot.
Okay. So that kind of helped during that time, for sure.
Definitely.
And what did baby mama think about you?
She was all for it.
Oh.
Like I said, she was the one who knew about it, and her mom knew about it. Like I used to, when I would work for that company, they would give me free porns. I would watch them and have sex with her. It was like,
Wait, so are
like-
you bi? Are you gay? Like now I'm confused.
He was
So
too.
you have
No,
a
I'm just-
Yes, no. So like as I grew up, I just realized like I couldn't give like me and girls, they were always like my best friends. Like I could be like, damn, she's bad or something, but I didn't want to like fuck her.
Mm-hmm.
I was like physically attracted to guys, and like I felt like I could emotionally give myself more to guys.
How old were
Like,
you when you realized that?
For sure, like when I started admitting it, like 21, 22.
Okay,
But
so
younger when I like realized.
when you first did your first shoot was with girls?
I've never had a shoot with a girl actually.
Okay, now that you say that, you're like, it was like the Bad Boys Club.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you've never shot with a girl. Okay.
No.
Were you dating girls during that time too? During those 3 years?
Once
3 years later.
my last girlfriend was like my senior year, like, and like my best friend or my baby mama at the time, she was my best friend. We were never really like a situation. Like it was just like best friends, and like I lost my virginity to her like in 8th grade type shit. Like, and we just grew up together. And I had known her since 2nd grade. So like,
Oh, wow.
that's a deep rooted history.
Well, you have a daughter now. Everything happens for a reason. So, okay.
Yeah, my daughter's almost in the 9th grade.
Oh, damn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she'll be 14 in 2 weeks.
Y'all both got big ass kids.
Yeah. My daughter is a senior. She just turned 18 last November. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's why I asked you at the beginning, like, how's it going? Because it
Yeah.
was tough as hell. Oh,
I can
some of those
imagine.
years.
But she
Cute.
did it.
And
Barely.
She has another one, a 9-year-old.
No, I have a 11-year-old son.
Okay, 2 boys, huh?
No, my 18-year-old's a girl. And then my son.
Okay.
So Bella and Jax.
Yeah.
Like, how big are you now? Like, what are we talking?
I feel like Daddy Cream's like one of the originals.
Like, I don't know, though. I don't watch...
You don't watch gay porn?
I don't watch gay porn. I mean, I barely watch that
A
much
lot of
porn.
girls get turned on by gay porn.
I'll have to watch.
Yeah.
I'll try it out.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
should.
I definitely
I-
wanted my ex and him to hook up with a dude, right? Like I would have liked that, and that's where it was going.
Oh, so that turns you on, guy
yeah.
on guy?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it would.
Would you want to participate or what?
I mean, I would participate, but like I would let them do things too, right? Like I
Well,
would
yeah,
watch,
like,
like
if
while they're doing
they're-
things, I would just watch.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Going back to your question, Alex.
Yeah, like how big are you?
Honestly, with OnlyFans and all that, like it's just different nowadays. But I feel like for me, this is how I feel. I traveled, across the seas and I get noticed and stuff. So it's pretty
Noticeable.
big. I
Yeah.
feel.
Okay.
So you're doing shoots and stuff, and you're back home. You're co-parenting, right?
Yeah, I co-parented. My baby mama actually lived with me and one of my first boyfriend when I was like 21, up and for like 6 months. So baby mama didn't care. That
That's
wasn't
cool.
an issue.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, so does your
Yeah.
daughter know what you do?
As she's gotten older, yes,
Okay.
but it hasn't been presented to her in the best light. Because I necessarily haven't been the one to present it to her, which goes back to when I said it's been like a tough time.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have OnlyFans, and obviously my daughter's 18, and I've had it before she was 18. So like I, had to have that conversation with her because she's gonna see.
Yeah, you said kids from the
promote
school.
it.
Wait,
And yes,
kids from the school are subscribed to Alex's OnlyFans.
and they're 18 supposedly. So I'm just throwing that out.
No,
So you had to have that conversation.
That's been an issue too, so I get it.
Okay.
I get that.
So what happens next?
I think I was like 20, maybe 19. It was just a blurry time, but I was diagnosed with HIV, and then I went back to the original company that I started with.
Because you needed money.
Yeah, the producer, everything was supposed to be different. And my name was bigger, so I was like, okay, they're not going to treat me like...
I'm a nobody now. Like, I've already
Yeah.
been through the block once. Like, I know how to do this. Like, you're going into it
Yeah.
with experience now. Was the
And
second time
then
around.
We went to like a showing in Orlando, and that's when I like messed around. And that few days later, I was just sick, just didn't want to do nothing. I was just like dead in the bed. And I had my baby mama like Google, symptoms of HIV, and everything she was naming, every single thing was like, that's me, that's me. And then I got back to California, and then I went to somewhere in Hollywood and got like a finger prick, and that's when they told me like I was positive.
Did this happen with it happened with the production company, or it happened on your own?
No.
It happened on your
my
own.
own.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long do you think that you had it before symptoms started?
I think it happened on that trip because I'm pretty confident with what I was doing at the time, at least.
Okay.
So
And assuming that I got it being a bottom and whatnot.
when you got that diagnosis, what did you think? And how was life after that? What did you do? How are you feeling?
I thought life was going to be over. Like, I was like, it was going to turn into AIDS. Like, things are going to be as bad as they can be. I called all my family, all my friends, anybody I was messing with recently. Like, I was just, like, devastated. And then as time went on, I started to own it. And then I would go to the doctors, and I got off medication every time I went back. Like, they said I was still healthy. And just as time progressed, like, I just realized life is going to still go on. Because at the time, like, HIV medication was really progressing as well. And yeah, and now I'm like finally undetectable. Well, not finally, I've been undetectable for years, which means it's non-transferable, and I'm living healthy. I have nothing negative to say in regards to that. So
I feel like there's still a stigma towards HIV, and people aren't educated because people think it's like a death sentence, you know, just like you said, when it happened to you, you thought life was over. So could you speak on like the current stigma that there is? People aren't knowledgeable. People still don't know that there's medications that will like literally allow you to live a healthy life. So
I just feel like the stigma, because you're right, it isn't just in the gay or LGBTQ community, but I just feel like, I don't know, it comes with self-worth, self-awareness, self-love. I feel like just same like if people are down low or something, it's just like if people have any type of something that they're ashamed of, they really shouldn't be ashamed of. But like HIV, it's kind of like a diabetes or a cancer. Like it just kind of happened. Like people don't necessarily even have to have sex to transmit the disease. People could be shooting up dope and transmit the disease or something. And I just feel like if people were more aware and know that there is medication preventing, one, for people having this or contracting this, and two, there's even now for gay men or whatever shots. You can go every couple of months to get a Cabenuva shot, instead of taking pills every day. Like, to me, it's so a part of me and who I am. I've just owned it for so long, and I don't know how to really explain to people how I've owned it. I accepted that's a part of who I am. Honestly, I've always gotten a lot of support. Like, my family has always, my sister's been my biggest supporter. She's the one that actually put me onto the clinic where I got my medications and like diagnosis officially and whatnot. So there was no shame, and I actually like would tweet about it or talk about it in my book, and I try to put a positive light on it instead of a negative light so people can see like, oh, someone like him. I mean, I'm sure they'd have their assumptions like, oh, he's a porn star, of course he's gonna have that, but like for me to own it and still live my life and like be a positive role model and stuff, I feel like that people can love.
When it was still detectable, would you have to tell people that you had it if you had sex with them?
Not have to, no. That was like a self choice, but that's something like if I'm dating or something, that's something that I'm pretty open about. Because when I did tell someone and it was like a red flag for them, like that wasn't the way that I wanted it. So this goes back to the person me and my baby mom were living with. Didn't tell them like in time. It's like I had wrote like a note in like my emails and like expressing what was going on, but I couldn't explain it to him. And so he found that one day when I was at work and he was like, well, why didn't you tell me? Why couldn't you tell me? And whoop-de-whoop. So like seeing that pain on his face, like I didn't want to do that to somebody else. So going forward after we broke up, I would just always tell everybody like, oh, this is what it is. And that would be either a deal breaker or whatever.
When you were with him, was this when it was still detectable?
Yeah, it was still detectable.
So were you just using protection every time, or how did that go?
No, he ended up contracting it from me.
I got you.
Did that experience make you say like, all right, well, maybe I need to just accept this in my life so that I can move forward and like live my best life with everybody else?
Yeah, just a reevaluation of a lot of things in general. Like for one, he didn't necessarily have to go through that mental. It's just now I own it. Like now it's just like something that I tell people right off the bat because it's something that they should know.
So then, okay, when you're explaining the HIV and then AIDS, like you were saying how you're scared it's going to turn AIDS, like when does it turn into AIDS and why didn't it? And maybe explain that a little bit further.
Yeah, and further explain like undetectable and stuff, because like I don't think a lot of people just don't know what that means.
For sure. And I talk about it so freely, expecting people to, so basically AIDS is when your white T blood cells count goes less than 200. Which means like you're basically diagnosed with AIDS. Your body essentially back in the day couldn't come back from being diagnosed with AIDS. Nowadays, if you can go above that and it would be, considered HIV again. But
really? So you could contract AIDS nowadays, and if you have the right medication and stuff, you could get your white T blood cells back?
To AIDS though, like once you get to AIDS, like I'm not a doctor or anything, but based on what I know, I don't think people are just actively living as freely with AIDS as people with HIV, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I would hope would have some type of rendition before it would get to that stage.
Right. That's why we have these conversations and stuff, so people would know. So you take medication to stop it from growing into AIDS.
Shout out to Biktarvy.
Biktarvy, that's the name of it?
Yep.
Okay, so you take that every day, and over time, it stops the HIV from attacking the white blood cells.
It basically... Yeah, and it doesn't allow the virus to continue to grow, to attack the blood cells, and to spread through your bloodstream to different parts of your body, damaging other parts of your body and whatnot.
Okay. And then as you're taking that medication, you're also testing the count in your sperm as well, right? Or is it just in your blood or just everything?
Yeah, no, we do a P test and then they draw my blood like every 3 or 6 months, but there's no sperm involved.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to
dreams,
do that.
Bennett.
Right.
No.
You're stupid in your dreams. Get out of here. So, after a while, you get to a point where it becomes undetectable in your blood, undetectable everywhere, not just your sperm,
so
which means...
So my partner now, like we've almost been together for a year. He doesn't have it, has like no signs, like it's non-transferable. I can't give it to
anyone.
other people.
If you stop taking the medication, Would you?
I'm sure over time, yes,
Okay.
like over time, because my body would become, or the blood cells would become more active, like the bad blood cells, the virus would become more active.
That makes sense.
So it's important to stay on your medication. And like I said, if you don't want to take a pill every day, you can now get shots every 2 or 3 months, like just depending. And that might
still
be
live
easier for people.
Still live a healthy, happy life. And
I just feel like people are so ashamed to talk about HIV or like, and let's be real, in my world at least, nobody's talking about a condom. You should be aware, but like, don't be shameful or don't put others at risk because of your own self
ashamed,
discreditness or whatever, you know? Like,
do you feel like,
or her? Yes, I'm sorry. This isn't just for boys.
No, I said for sure.
Oh,
or her.
Oh,
or her, or they, or them. Let's be politically correct, everyone. But do you still run into any stigmas or any obstacles in your life today, or is it like completely behind you? It's not something that you deal with anymore.
I don't give a damn what anyone has to say because I know me and I love me and nobody's opinion. You could call me every name in the book. I could care less.
Okay, so here's a question. What kind of content are you putting out on your OnlyFans?
Now it's like me and my partner.
That's it? Well, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if...
Alex is looking for someone.
Stop.
We were
might
literally
get
saying this.
another
Alex is looking for somebody she's looking for a partner for her OnlyFans.
Yeah, but he has a partner. And stop it.
You just said that you wanted to watch two guys have sex. So like, I'm just putting it out there.
Later, okay?
If you guys want to make some money, hello.
Interesting. Okay. Like,
you guys should be OnlyFans friends. I don't know if that's a thing, but is it?
Yeah, I would. Well, how much is your subscription, or is it free?
Free? Ain't nothing free.
No, there's a lot who do free because they make you pay for their stuff.
Okay.
yeah, no, my subscription isn't free. Like, it's supposed to be $19.99, but you know, I throw on a little discount for new subscribers and whatnot. So.
Nice.
You heard it here first, or maybe second. I don't know, but go subscribe. Okay, so what is you and your baby mother's relationship now? Tell us about that.
We're on two separate. I don't want to speak for her, but I don't know. We're just not in a good place. We haven't been for quite some time.
Why do you think that is?
I feel like now that Daddy Cream is really who he is, she's bitter and we're not in a good place.
How often?
It's unfortunate. I haven't seen my daughter in almost 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a really long time.
That
I haven't even talked to my kid in almost 2 years. So
how do you deal with
parent
that?
alienation.
It sure does. How do you deal with that from day to day?
Honestly, there's some days I just sit on the couch and I just cry, and there's like, now I'm even getting emotional about it. It's just, I just know who I am, and I know that my daughter knows the kind of dad that I am. So I know that when we are able to speak again, things from my experience should go back to how they were, or not how they were. Obviously, she's older and she's, more wiser for herself, but parental annihilation is exactly what I feel like this is. And it's still an ongoing custody battle, ongoing visitation battle, ongoing communication battle.
That's really unfortunate.
And I think that's because everything that's transformed over the last few years.
It's just sad for your daughter because you don't get the time back, and it's because of the parent, I feel like in this situation. Yeah. So do you have court coming up, or like, does it get continued? Like, what?
Yeah, 2 weeks from today, we got court. It's not, and we just had court a couple weeks ago. It's ongoing. It's nonstop. It's exhausting. But I'll never quit. I'll never stop.
I always feel like there becomes a point where a child wants to know their parent, and beyond like the narrative or what they were told, because you were just saying how like your daughter found out about what you do, but not through, from you, through, the words and the perspectives of, I'm guessing her baby mother, but there's definitely a point where the child grows up and forget like the narrative I was told. I want to know my parents. I want to see what's going on. I want to, I need that connection in that relationship for myself. So she'll definitely come around.
Your daughter knows now, right?
Yeah, but actually to your point, Bennett, when she was younger, like 13, 14, 15, my mom, who's very judgmental, and I don't give a shit what anybody does, and I'm not worrying about anybody else, but my mom would judge me on things that were ridiculous. And she would say it in front of my daughter, when I was around or was not around, but it wasn't okay. And like my daughter would judge me too on these things. And like actually a few years later, she had a conversation with me, which obviously wasn't that long ago. And she says, I don't even know why I even cared about that. Like, cause she was influenced by somebody.
Your daughter?
Yeah, my daughter was. She was only judging me because my mom was judging me, and she would hear it from my mom. She would be embarrassed for me. Like if I posted like a bikini pic, like on social media, my mom would judge me. And
so now it's to the point where my daughter's in 8th grade and her friends are commenting under my pictures and stuff. And so I can only imagine how she's feeling, especially me not being able to talk to her and explain to her. And I have questions too, like how do they find my social media and stuff? It's just a lot, but
you know, she's still impressionable, but when she gets a few years older, like my daughter did, you know, she was like, I really don't even understand why I cared. I'm like, well, it was just an influence, you know, she was influenced by somebody else. And so she will be able to think for herself. And this day and age, you know, like a lot of younger females are really just taking what, like they're actually looking at mental health a lot more than they ever have. And they know behaviors and what to look out for and standing up for themselves. So I do believe she'll come around sooner than later.
I do too. And that's why my faith in my cup is always half full when it comes to my daughter. And that's why I said I'll never quit, because this is just a temporary situation.
Especially if you don't quit, then, you know, she'll see that you're legit.
At some point, she'll have to find out for herself. And like I said, like half cup full through all of this guy still continues to shine and, you know, spread love.
I couldn't imagine if I had my child taken away from me, like, and then just not seeing them for years. Like that would actually destroy me. So
there's levels. There's levels to his resilience. No, all good. What advice would you give to someone who just found out that they contracted HIV, and like what advice would you give to them going through that?
Well, hopefully I'm speaking before it gets to that point. Know that you can go to Planned Parenthood and you can get preventative pills like gays and straights. There's other things, so hopefully people don't have to get it there. Cause
I don't take PrEP. By the way, I don't take PrEP because like I don't know if you heard this, it's like connected to kidney failure. Failure.
Yeah.
So I don't take it from day to day, but I'm cautious otherwise.
Like medications that, you know, for me that not that I'm taking, but that can be linked to kidney failures.
Right.
And just like pretty much every infomercial you see where it's like, oh, the risk is heart attack or whatever.
Right.
Well, Bennett, alcohol could cause liver failure.
I know, and I drink a lot of it, so I might as well. I know. Yeah.
Exactly.
So there are preventative measures before that happens, but if it does happen, like, what would you say to someone? Because I know that's like a really scary place for some people, especially if you don't have people around you.
Like, don't be scared. Even, I mean, like I said, I felt alone. I was able to tell my family, and I still, like, I felt supported. But, like, at the end of the day, this is my life. Like, if I died, like, I'm the one dead. Like, so my family, yeah, they'll be affected, but it's, you know, we all have our own lives. So I would just tell people, don't be scared. Like, if they are, or if they do come in contact with somebody who has that, like, there are things to take that will make sure that you can live a long, healthy life. You're not going to die at, 40, 50 years old unless you don't take care of yourself. Now, that's what I will say. If you don't take care of yourself, it could be rapid. Like, you could die in your sleep and not know, like, because you never even knew that you were contracted.
Would you just recommend people to get tested, like, every so often? That's just how you would know.
Back in the day, when I found out I was positive, I used to see signs all the time and like brochures and get tested and stuff. Nowadays, I don't really see that. Yeah. I just see more so medications that are like do the preventatives and stuff.
I saw those signs growing
up
too.
So I mean, it doesn't hurt to get tested.
So preventative support, like don't be afraid to like to talk to people around you.
Oh yes,
like
and
the support
there's so
system.
Many different resources. Like there's communities, there's group chats, there's people. You're not the only person going through what you might feel you're going through alone. There are going to be a lot more relatable people to discuss, and might have similar stories to you, and that could become your best friend or something.
What would you tell 18-year-old Jovon that was getting into the industry now that you've gone through everything that you've gone through?
if I'm questioning if I'm going to take that trip, I would say, are you sure you want to take this trip? And really like think about the longevity of everything that transpired after I took that trip. Or if I would say, you fucking did it and just keep swimming. It's not over. I feel really young.
Yeah.
Like 32 is really young. So
got a long life to live.
Hopefully.
I keep on getting more questions. Do you ever feel like Daddy Cream overshadows like where you are in life or who you are in life?
So definitely, because I feel like, so my first book, Jovon Joseph, The Truth Behind It All, like I did that.
Books, multiple.
That's hot.
Yes, thank you. First book, that was really me trying to revamp the Daddy Cream, and like, it's Jovon Joseph. This is the truth behind it all. This is how Daddy Cream got started and whatnot. And then I don't know, obviously sex sells, and Daddy Cream is just what people want to see. Like, you know, I did my Jovon Joseph podcast. I also did a Daddy Cream podcast. So like, to me, because it's me, I just feel like it's hand in hand. Like, to me, Jovon Joseph is Daddy Cream and Daddy Cream is Jovon Joseph, but like there's like an on and off switch.
Where can we find your books?
Amazon.
Okay.
I think JovonJoseph.com might still be around, maybe not.
Okay, well, I'll find the link and I'll link it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Amazon, Book Baby. Literally, the first book, Jovon Joseph, you could get on like Barnes and Noble. You can get that one anywhere.
Dope.
It's the second one that was like designated to either me, but because the second time around I realized I can get more of the money though, so you gotta go through things to.
That's big time though. You should be proud of yourself.
Absolutely.
I am very proud. Thank you.
The second book is Jovon Joseph, Life After Marriage. Is that it?
Yes, that is. I had to think about it, but yeah.
Right.
So, that was basically how my life changed once I got married, and now I'm divorced, and you know,
so are we.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
So
no, I forgot there, but that's relatable.
Very relatable. So we'll definitely. I have a copy. We'll have to read it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and telling your story.
Yes,
and
thank you so much.
We do ask all of our guests at the end what resilience means to them. So Jovon.
Yeah, you got it.
What does resilience mean to you?
And thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It was fun. Resilient to me, or resilience, whichever we're going to go with, just means basically, I don't want to use another word, but like perseverance, or like just never giving up, always remaining true to self, and just keep fighting. Like, you just got to keep raising up your head every fucking day. Whether it's a gray day or sunny day, you just got to keep being resilient.
Yeah, love it. I'm super appreciative that you told your story. Is going to help a lot of people in the future who listen. And
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Google Daddy Cream now.
Where could people follow you if they need to check you out?
Thank you. So my Instagram is Jovon Joseph _ I believe. Yeah.
2 underscores.
At Jovon Joseph, and it's Jovon and Joseph common spelling.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for stopping by the podcast. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And like she said, the story is going to help so many people. So yeah, make sure you check him out on Instagram or on
OnlyFans.
X videos. No.
Yeah. OnlyFans is onlyfans.com. Daddy Cream.
There you go.
Daddy Cream on OnlyFans. Let's get that coin. Okay.
Yes.
That was a good interview.
That was so good. Jovon, thank you so much. Now it's time for the conspiracy.
Conspiracy City.
Okay, well, before we get into the conspiracy, I just wanted to say something about like an update of the one that we did last week on Kate Middleton, because you had to have seen that she announced that she has cancer. You know, to be honest, I really don't know how I feel about that being the complete 100% truth, because they're trying to distract us from actually seeing the real truth about something that's going on. That's what I feel like they always do. It was so much of probably a lot of social media and the press hounding them that they had to come out with something. So she says that she
has cancer
and is undergoing chemotherapy.
And it's like, if that was the reason, why didn't you guys say this 2 months ago when she disappeared?
Yeah.
It's like as if they heard the whispers and they were like, we need to do something to end that.
And then her lawyer came out and said that
I don't think she's alive.
Her lawyer said that he or she doesn't think that Kate Middleton is alive.
The lawyer said they haven't seen her.
Yes. What? Her lawyer, and the lawyer said, because I don't want them to keep lying.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Where's the lawyer now? Dead? No, probably.
Probably. Who the fuck is the lawyer? Yeah.
Doesn't have a job with them. So yeah, that's really weird.
Crazy. Hit us up. What do you think? That was like AF3.
Alrighty.
This week, it's going to be about Amanda Bynes.
Yeah. Did she use Maha? That was like Amanda Bynes, right?
What didn't she do?
Maha. She was so good.
She so good.
Was so good until
2013, pretty much. Paul told me he's not taking his medications.
She is absolutely tapped nowadays. Like, what is going on with her?
She's coming back. I feel like she's making a comeback, but she's been going through it for a long time. Okay, so if you don't know who Amanda Bynes is, she was on Nickelodeon for a long time. She started when she was 9 or something. I don't know. She was young. And she was very close to Dan Schneider, the executive producer for several shows, like All That, The Amanda Show, several other ones. Sam and Cat.
Sam and Cat.
Drake and Josh.
And
there was just a lot
iCarly.
I used to watch iCarly with my daughter all the time. Anyhow, a documentary just came out called Quiet on Set. And it was several of like the Nickelodeon stars when they were kids. They're all grown up now, talking about the abuse that they went through.
Yikes. All of them?
Not all of them. Amanda not included. And I thought it was really weird that she wasn't included because the people who were on it didn't give a fuck. They were saying everything and all. And I watched all of those shows that Amanda was on growing up. And she was so good. She was so entertaining. And, you know, kids are very easily entertained. So I didn't realize until I watched Quiet on Set recently how disturbing some of the scenes were because we don't know as a child, right? But then I'm just thinking about like all of the adults who were part of and participating in Nickelodeon shows and who were writers and producers who said yes to all of this.
Like literally writing it out, producing it, and then watching the kids do it on set.
Most of it though was Dan Schneider. Like Dan Schneider is a pervert, and there was multiple other people throughout the years who were predators who came in and out, and there was a lot of older men, not a lot of females who got to come through, and like the female writers were not treated fairly. Like there was just a lot of abuse in that studio. But I just cannot believe what happened to Amanda because
what happened to her?
Well, we don't really know. I mean, because she wasn't on it.
Was Sam on it from Sam and Cat?
There's only been like a couple that were on All That, and it's sad stories. Like they're looking back as adults like, damn, did Dan not think about this? These kids are going to grow up quickly and be like, what the hell?
What kind of stuff? Like, what happened to Amanda?
Well,
what's
was
the conspiracy
very close
around her?
She was very close to Dan. And maybe, see, I'm kind of confused whether it happened to Amanda or Jamie Lynn Spears, who got pregnant by him.
By him?
But that's the rumor.
The conspiracy.
It's one of the, allegedly. Right. So I don't know if you remember back in the day, but Amanda was tweeting something from a different account other than hers because hers, I don't know, got shut down. So she was tweeting from this other name. She verified that it was her. And she was saying how she got pregnant by her boss. But I don't know, because like there's Jamie Lynn Spears wasn't on it. So it's just a lot of...
But Jamie Lynn Spears was on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, Zoe 101.
Zoe 101.
And so, you know, a lot of the people who were not on it, who knows why? We won't ever know until they say it. They're not saying anything. But I can only imagine Amanda went through with Dan. I don't know. Like she was Dan's favorite. But also, I don't know if Dan ever did anything to her.
I mean, she's messed
she is. So if you look at her pictures, it happened between 2012 and 2013. That's when she like really changed. It went from like pictures of every year before and then every year after. And it was like from 2012, she looked good. She looked like Amanda. The next year, her hair was like flying out fro.
Oh my goodness.
And then it was like never okay since then. And I don't know. I saw a bunch of pictures of Amanda over the years along with Lindsay Lohan. And, you know, Lindsay went through it as well. And Lindsay looks a lot better nowadays. And you could just tell they went up and down, but like mostly down after 2013. But Amanda, like she just worked a lot and I don't know. I can't say whether or not Dan did anything to her or whatever.
I seen that scene though where they're sitting in the jacuzzi.
Yeah, that was weird.
He has all his clothes on and she's in a bikini.
Yeah.
Kids. She's a child.
Yeah, and there were several scenes like that. There was one where she was supposed to be singing and trying to like crack a bottle. Like yeah. So she tried and then it didn't work. So she sat it down and then she was like on her knees and she was like, oh, you know, like looking like she was giving head. Things like that. Yeah. Ew. And there was a scene of Ariana Grande. She was like laying on a bed and her head was like leaning backwards off the bed and she was trying to drink a bottle of water and it was all like all over her and she's like, ah! Like it looked like a sexual. Yeah. There's a ton of stuff like that. And like the guys were talking and they were saying how they used to have to wear super tight leotards. And, you know, it was like things popping out where it just made them feel very uncomfortable.
Oh, the guys had to wear the leotards.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. Like for different scenes. And just like the racism that went on as well between Dan and the kids and who were his favorites and what he did and what he allowed and what he didn't. And like how he started was like having this really awesome, fun set where all the kids and all the people who worked there were having so much fun. And then like after a couple of years, it like started to progress into him just being very vile and volatile and out of control and in a power craze.
Yikes.
So Amanda, though, nowadays, if you look her up, she doesn't look like Amanda whatsoever.
At all. She was a very beautiful girl.
Beautiful. She's not recognizable. It doesn't sound like her. And the conspiracy is that it's not her. Yeah.
This whole time that it hasn't
that
been
Amanda,
her.
who's like on, making these videos, it's not Amanda. Like, that's what people think, that it's not Amanda. And also, she used to have these cheek piercings. She has no scars or no dimples or anything from the piercings because they're not there anymore. And you can see other people who have had those piercings.
And it's
you
always
can
there.
see, like Black China, nothing is there. It's like a smooth cheek. I can't say whether or not she might have really good skin that heals well. I don't know. She could have a lot of makeup on, but it doesn't look or sound like Amanda at all.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
She was just seen out for the first time since the documentary came out like a few days ago. And I mean, she was looking like a baddie though. She had like the new Yeezy pods on. She was looking good.
She looks better.
She looks as good as she could be right now, I feel like.
That's so crazy that we're talking about this because literally maybe 2 weeks ago I went to her page and like sent her some love because I'm like,
wait, her page on what?
On
TikTok
Instagram.
or yeah, I couldn't find her on TikTok, so I didn't look.
Yeah, on Instagram.
Okay.
And I was like, just sent her some love. I do that for celebrities going through shit because you never know. People read their DMs and stuff. So
Oh, 100%.
I just sent it to her.
Good. I'm going to go to her page real quick and I'm going to play one of her videos I'm talking about because it doesn't sound like her. She's talking about her wigs and her hair and her.
It's
she's
also
gonna make her
blonde.
nails. Yeah, she's like, she failed her exam, so she's going to keep taking it until
A
she.
nail salon girl, you should have all the money in the world, honestly. You know what? When you see these kids in these industries, the entertainment industry, a lot of abuse happens on set, things that you really shouldn't do to children. It gets overlooked because people are making money. And I'm sure in this case, all the parents on set weren't saying anything to Dan because he was the executive producer.
Yeah.
So at some point, it really comes down to the adults, whether it's the parents, the producers, the people on set, because they're the ones that know what's right and what's wrong. Now you have these kids growing up and they're dealing with that trauma now. And you see that with everyone. You see that with all of them.
I don't think the parents knew a lot about what was going on because they didn't get to go like in the back or on set. Like they could be there, but they had to stay somewhere else.
Oh, hell
I know,
no.
right? And
especially knowing, well, nowadays, 25 years later, we know how Hollywood is, but I can never.
Totally. So these parents would drop them off and like the parents would actually go against child labor laws and let their kids stay for a lot longer. And then they didn't want to say anything to ruin their kids' opportunities. So they knew things were weird or like not even necessarily weird, not right, or even the racism and things like between the kids. Like, but the parents were saying they didn't want to say anything because they didn't want to have retaliation on their child. And Dan was very much, if you do this for me, then I'll put your script in, or if you do this for me, then whatever, But okay, I'm gonna play one of her videos.
I bought some extensions on Amazon. These are them. Unfortunately, they're ratting up, like they're getting matted at the end. So I'm gonna buy new extensions and get those installed as soon as possible. But I really like wearing extensions over wearing wigs. The wigs were just too much for me. So for now, I'm rocking extensions again, and I just want to let you guys know because I had posted about wearing wigs and now I just don't feel comfortable wearing them anymore. I hope everybody's having a blessed night. Bye.
Weird.
If you, I'm Amanda growing up, Amanda Bynes, the Amanda Show, the quirky, funny, like.
Ask Amanda. That's me. Like she was so peppy and
she was.
Like, that doesn't even sound like her.
It doesn't.
Or look like her.
At all. I'm going to play one more.
Paul told me that he stopped taking his medications.
Paul told me he stopped taking his medications.
She has that in her voice. Like
what?
I'm not wearing wigs anymore.
Where did that come from?
Trauma.
Yeah.
Who knows what else happened behind that set? Oof. I mean, even beyond her allegedly getting pregnant.
By Dan. Ew.
Gross.
So, and then she was trying to get emancipated at the age of 16. Dan tried to help her. The court said, no. That's when Amanda's parents were like, what the hell? That was weird, Dan. And that's when that was like cut off. And so it was very hard for them after that. But then it was like within no time she's 18, but she couldn't work with Dan after that.
Her parents didn't let her. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So they ruined that idea for them. And then he had to like continue on Nickelodeon. And then he didn't really start getting blown up until like 2017. But now
Years
he's
later.
fucked. Now he's completely fucked.
I seen that he did an interview. I didn't watch the interview.
This motherfucker did an interview. Ugh,
To basically call all the kids that were on the show, on the new documentary, liars.
He was just actually saying, I apologize if I made anybody feel uncomfortable. And like, he was just bullshit. Just fuck off.
Right. I
Just
heard him say, well, Nickelodeon allowed it, so it can't be that bad.
And I didn't hire one of the people who was sent to prison because they did something to some of the children or something, that he was like, I didn't hire him. Like, he was just, it just sounded like a bunch of excuses and bullshit and like not like an actual genuine apology. Mm-hmm. So that's Dan Schneider.
Yikes, I gotta go
Nasty
check out the
motherfucker.
documentary.
Sick. He's a sick motherfucker.
Quiet on Set.
Yeah, if you haven't checked it out, I got it on Amazon Prime. That's where I watched it.
I'm gonna HBO Max it.
You can HBO
Or
Max.
it's not
Hulu.
called HBO, it's Max. But
Okay, yeah. So
Alright.
there's that. What do you think? What do you think happened to Amanda? Do you think it is Amanda? Hit us up on Instagram, YouTube, OnlyFans. I'm kidding. At Resilient AF3, and that's it.
that's it. Another great show.
Yes, it was. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes. Make sure you hit us up on Instagram, follow us.
Follow
give us
Jovon.
those- and hit us with some Ask Alex questions, something spicy, so we can answer some of those.
And we'll shout your out. Okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Make sure to follow us individually. I'm at That Dreas.
I am at BennettKnows.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.